Hello, Michael here, looking at Psalms 90 for our devotion, a psalm which may be subtitled, From Everlasting to Everlasting. And we're focusing on verse 5 down to 7 for the exposition. Let's go ahead and read those 3 verses. Verse 5. Thou carriest them away as with a flood. They are as asleep. In the morning they are like grass which groweth up. Verse 6. In the morning it flourisheth and groweth up. In the evening it is cut down and withereth. And verse 7. For we are consumed by thine anger, and by thy wrath are we troubled. And as we get to the treasure of David for the exposition, let's go ahead and read verse 5 again. Thou carriest them away as with a flood. They are as asleep. In the morning they are like grass which groweth up. And Spurgeon exposits. Thou carriest them away as with a flood, as when a torrent rushes down the river bed and bears all before it, so does the Lord bear away by death the succeeding generations of men. As the hurricane sweeps the clouds from the sky, so time removes the children of men. They are as asleep. Before God, men must appear as unreal as the dreams of the night, the phantoms of sleep. Not only are our plans and devices like asleep, but we ourselves are such. We are such stuff as dreams are made of. In the morning they are like grass which groweth up. As grass is green in the morning and hay at night, so men are changed from health to corruption in a few hours. We are not cedars or oaks, but only poor grass, which is vigorous in the spring, but lasts not a summer through. What is there upon earth more frail than we? And verse 6 that reads, In the morning it flourisheth and groweth up. In the evening it is cut down and withereth. In the morning it flourisheth and groweth up, blooming with abounding beauty, till the meadows are all besprent with gems. The grass has a golden hour, even as man in his youth has a heyday of flowery glory. In the evening it is cut down and withereth. The scythe ends the blossoming of the field flowers, and the dews at night weep their fall. Here is the history of the grass: sown, grown, blown, mown, gone. And the history of man is not much more. Natural decay would put an end both to us and the grass in due time. Few, however, are left to experience the full result of age, for death comes with his scythe and removes our life in the midst of its verdure. How great a change in how short a time! The morning saw the blooming, and the evening sees the withering. In verse 7 that reads, For we are consumed by thine anger, and by thy wrath are we troubled. This mortality is not accidental, neither was it inevitable in the original of our nature. But sin has provoked the Lord to anger, and therefore thus we die. For we are consumed by thine anger. This is a scythe which mows and scorching heat which withers. This was especially the case in reference to the people in the wilderness, whose lives were cut short by justice on account of their waywardness. They failed, not by a natural decline, but through the blast of the well-deserved judgments of God. It must have been a very mournful sight to Moses to see the whole nation melt away during the 40 years of their pilgrimage, till none remained of all that came out of Egypt. As God's favor is life, so his anger is death. As well might grass grow in an oven, as men flourish it when the Lord is wroth with them. And by thy wrath are we troubled, or terror-stricken. A sense of divine anger confounded them, so that they lived as men who knew that they were doomed. This is true of us in a measure. but not altogether, for now that immortality and life are brought to light by the gospel, death has changed its aspect. And to believers in Jesus, it is no more a judicial execution. Anger and wrath are the sting of death, and in these believers have no share. Love and mercy now conduct us to glory by the way of the tomb. It is not seemly read these words at a Christian's funeral without words of explanation, and a distinct endeavor to show how little they belong to believers in Jesus, and how far we are privileged beyond those with whom he was not well pleased, whose carcasses fell in the wilderness. To apply an ode written by the leader of the legal dispensation under circumstances of peculiar judgment, in reference to a people under penal censure, to those who fall asleep in Jesus, seems to be the height of blundering. We may learn much from it, but we ought not to misapply it by taking to ourselves, as the beloved of the Lord, that which was chiefly true of those to whom God has sworn in his wrath that they should not enter into his wrath. When, however, a soul is under conviction of sin, the language of this psalm is highly appropriate to his case, and will naturally suggest itself to the distracted mind. No fire consumes like God's anger, and no anguish so troubles the heart as his wrath. Blessed be that dear substitute, who bore that we might never his Father's righteous ire. Wow. Trust you enjoyed the meditation. Michael here declaring yet again, Jesus is Lord. Until next time, be blessed.